Well, good morning. It is morning. It's like 2:40 Central Standard Time. Just getting it in. It's for my guys. This guy Ray coming to you live all the way from here. Where it's here, right here. But I want to share something real quick because we've been dealing with, man of purpose and power, understanding masculinity. But I want to share something. Jason Wilson, powerful book called Battle Cry, Waging and Winning the War Within. Waging and Winning the War Within. Let me get some had to get a little air in there. So, look. It says this was a saying. It deeply saddens to see so many good men, even the strong, on the verge of giving up. No one wants to be the problem all the time. We have a male crisis floating through, especially with our young people. Older guys like myself, right? We just have to be very careful with the settings that we're in. When we want to share some things, just be very careful. Be open to whatever setting you're in around young people. And I'm just going to say, older guys, never stay in a place where you feel you're not being valued, right? Or your wisdom or guidance is not being appreciated. You can't stay in those places trying to force what you think is right, where people don't value who you are. It becomes very frustrating. Get very depressed. You start categorizing all young people in the same vein, which isn't right. But I want to talk to my men right now. It deeply saddens to see so many good men, even the strong, on the verge of giving up. No one wants to be the problem all the time. And that's the society right now where it feels most men are feeling that way. We're always the problem, we're always the problem. Let me read a couple of excerpts with you real quick. This is what the thought is. This is how we respond to certain things, right? This is what we're saying, right? This is what we're saying. It's too late for me to change. I want to cry, but I can't. I look weak if I express how I really feel. I'm tired of always being the problem, man. Life is no longer worth living. We go through those stages, man. We go through those stages, right? We go through that stages and we get to that place. I'm tired of always being the problem. I'm hearing this statement. I'm hearing this all the time right now. I'm hearing this coming from men all over the place. And men, we're suffering in silence. It's like we can't say nothing. We don't know who to talk to. We're suffering in silence. We're condemning ourselves as if we're not allowed to make mistakes. Even though we want to express ourselves. But the fear of being wrong again and passively dismisses it enough to tame the desire to be human. But listen, let me unpack that what I just said. We wanna express ourselves. But when we express ourselves, we're wrong again. We're wrong about how we're feeling or what we're saying. And then that's one set of men. And then there's those of us those of us with that repress our childhood trauma instead of releasing it. Some things I was sharing the other day about, a lot of times in relationships, right? 80% of the time, your significant other, be it male or female, if you're male, female, if you're female, male, we respond to some action or behavior of our significant other based on a previous relationship. Meaning, you do a movement that reminds me of him. You do a movement that reminds me of her. You raise your voice and remind me of him. You raise your voice and remind me of her. So it brings like, so we don't want to say nothing. We don't want to, we're like, we're not willing to take the risk to be heard. Because we don't want to be wrong again. When do we ever become right? And this is not like, boo, oh man, I'm always, no, this is some reality, some real live stuff that we are going through, and we're suppressing, we're doing this thing in silence. See, so what happens is subsequently, what happens is we perceive watch this, and I just went through this, we perceive every opposing opinion or minor altercation as disrespect, and quickly meet it with a reaction from an emotional standpoint. I'm gonna say it again. Anytime there's an opposition or our opinion is opposed, or we have a minor altercation, it always feels like we are being disrespected. Man, I said this like 2 days ago to my guy. I said, man, people are so disrespectful. And my response is an emotional response. It's like, instead of swatting away the mosquito, right? We let the mosquito land on our arms and bite us. And then we try to kill it with a sledgehammer. That's all I wanted to share this morning. You see, Exodus life change, coming out of darkness into a marvelous light, changing from where I was into something different. But I don't know what to change into because I don't understand my purpose. Make sure you're dealing with us with a man of purpose and power that can help some of these things. As we're going to keep moving on, we're going to be dealing about, emotional incarceration. Emotional incarceration, being locked up in our emotions. Going through this trauma. Not realizing that trauma really is our training ground to be who we are today. We're crying out, we're in relationships with women, and the only thing we're saying, why don't you just let me be the man and follow my lead? Right? That role, right? That role that we have been always listening. We are supposed to be the head and not the tail. But we're feeling like the tail. See, because I'm gonna leave you with this. Emotions are like ping pong balls underwater. You can only hold them down for so long. And then they just put that ping pong ball, and it all comes out. And that's what the verge of a lot of men are on. We're responding to things from an emotional standpoint. That's causing from frustration, from depression, from anxiety. And instead of helping, we're hurting. We're hurting ourselves. We're hurting people around it, and then we don't understand our purpose. We're trying to understand a purpose based on the world system instead of based on what God has a purpose and plan for our life. When we understand, when I truly found my purpose on this earth, what God showed me, and I'm living in that purpose, right? I understand my role. That's when I start understanding my role in my purpose. I don't have to understand my role in the world system, but I understand my role in my purpose, the purpose that God has for me, which makes me a whole lot. It makes me fulfill or be fulfilling or fulfilling my destiny or fulfilling my purpose here. And feeling useful based on what God says. So I just wanted to drop that nugget real quick. I'm uploading this. It's like I said, it's about 2:45 now in the morning, and that's okay, right? That's okay, right? We're gonna keep moving. keep moving. Make sure you tune in to Ray's Corner Live. Go to our YouTube channel, Ray's Corner Live, Ray's Corner Live. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. Say, man, you know, is this valid? Can this help me? And don't forget about Men Talks Tuesdays. Hey, this is your guy Ray coming to you live all the way from here. Where it's here, right here. And God loves you and I love you. And guess what? Ain't nothing you can do about it. Peace out.